Ever wonder an easy way to find out what those mountain peak names are when you're traveling and on the road? Well, I want to show you an app that can do that, called PeakFinder. Now what I will do is launch it on the iPhone. The way to use the app is, let's just make sure it looks at our position properly. So what I always do is push this little button on the bottom right, and it's going to retrieve your location. And the next thing I like to do is turn on this camera mode on the top left. And so now what it tries to do is superimpose the mountains to your scenery. Now you see in this case the mountains aren't quite aligned, so what you want to do is drag this up until you see the mountain silhouette aligned. And by doing that, you can now detect where and what those mountains are. And in the location I'm in, it's showing it in meters as part of my settings. I can see all these different mountain names. So Black Mountain, one of the most popular mountains here is Grouse Mountain in the area I'm in. There are a lot of mountains here in this area, so this is why I love using this app, especially either at home or when I'm traveling, so you can get a feel for what all the mountains are. Now, other options you have is to use something like Google Maps, or you can plan ahead when you're at it before you go to that destination, but I like to make sure that I can see where these mountains are when I'm there. What you can also do is hit the photo button in the center right and just hold it for a moment, and that will take a photo for you and put it in your photo library. Now let's go through some of the settings here. Tapping on settings, then photos, will reveal what pictures you have taken. You can then export the photos, including mountain names and heights, to your camera roll. Here's what an exported photo would look like. And I'm going into the settings. So you can change your appearance. You can make the fonts larger or put them back to small. You can change it to feet. So let's go back. And now everything's in feet versus meters. And let me take a photo of that so I have that too. And if your alignment gets lost, you just drag your finger or your thumb and move it to the right location, just catching those mountain silhouettes. So let's go back to the settings. So you can change the way you see the coordinates. You can also hide the altitude to make that screen a little cleaner. So let's see if I hide it and go back to it. And so now I don't see the elevation of the mountains. Take another photo of that. But let's go back to the settings. Put it back to that so I can see the altitude. You can show where the sun is, where it's setting. You can also show the moon. You can see your grid if you want to see a grid. And you can look at updating your database where it shows either new mountain ranges or names or heights and things like that. And there's even a thing called offline mode. So if you're going in a location where you know you'll have no data, you can turn that offline mode ahead of time. You can go to it and say, hey, I'm going to be in this area, and it will download that offline map for you. I'm going to hit back, go back to the settings. So that's a pretty convenient way when you don't have data available to you. Now, another cool thing about this app is, let's say you haven't been to a location, you want to see it ahead of time. You can actually go in here and go into the maps, and you can either go to if you made a pre-marker or the directory or an offline or enter coordinates, or let's go to the online map. So let's say you want to travel and you want to look at a different location. And you press that button there and it'll travel there and take you to that other mountain range to see what type of mountains are in that area. So I always find that pretty neat. If you want to plan ahead, you can see what they are. So let me go back and hit the location. So it sends me back to where I'm at. Let's go back here and realign this image. So I think that's pretty cool too, where you could look ahead and see the mountain range where you're planning to go or where you've been before, just to get a copy of those names. The app itself is $6.99 Canadian or $4.99 US. It's available on the Google Play Store or App Store. I find it a very convenient app to have with you when you're on the road and trying to figure out these mountain names. And it does a fantastic job. So let's just see what other mountains are in this area. So there's Sun, and let's go over here. It's about to clear up over there on that location. It's starting to clear up. It's kind of a cloudy day with some openings. So that is the app. So I highly recommend it. It's the PeakFinder app, available on iOS and Android devices. It's really convenient, works fantastic. I love it because you can get to see where all the peaks are. You can take a photo. You can transpose it with what your real live view is compared to the background and what you see. And it's convenient, so definitely a cool app. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more tutorials on different apps, let me know. There's a lot of apps out there. I may show some more through time, but definitely get this app. This is a PeakFinder. I really recommend it. This is not a sponsored video. Until the next video, thanks everybody for watching. Woo-roo, it's Nature-roo. Thanks everybody. Have a good one. The tides are coming back, so it's time to get out of here. Tides are getting... Look at that, the camera's getting more water. Time to go. Let's stop this recording. As I was recording, the tides were coming back. So my foot got wet. Wet feet. Bye everybody. Wet feet. Ah! But it's always worth it.